occur when you're Indian. Number one, people always assume I speak a language called Indian. I don't know where that comes from. I speak Tamil. I speak a language. India is a place, guys. A second thing, everybody always assumes I eat curry. There are several types. When you say, do you eat curry? Yes, and it's delicious. And number three, people always assume you're smart, right? People always assume that you're gonna be a doctor. People are always assuming that you're gonna go to law school. Oh my gosh. Oh, especially if you have glasses, right? If you have the glasses, it's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna go into IT. It's gonna be great, right? With the glasses and everything. I know so many Indians that slack off at school though. Like, you have no idea. Like, I'll like be in class. Even I have been tuned to these stereotypes. I'm sitting in class and I see an Indian like just like on their phone and like or something. I'm like, wait, you're supposed to be smart, right? Like, I don't understand. I would say I'm an average amount of smart. Depends on what people define as smart. I would say I'm a decent amount of smart. Some people say I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so smart, and then others people are like, no, you're dumb. What are you talking about? But it changes. I grew up in Redmond. I've been in Redmond my whole life. I started off elementary school, small kid, you know. I was a girl that wore like, you know, full on like Indian dress, like picture day, and I'd sit down and then they'd be like, what are you wearing? Like, how are you like sitting with that on? Like that literally, that was every picture day for me. So I was that kind of kid. I got teased for it. I got teased for being different. And a lot of people do. A lot of people get teased for being different. I don't know why, because being different is what makes you special. It what makes you who you are. When I went to elementary school, I was in it was the time where Indians hadn't taken over Redmond yet. They were all just white people. So I'd be in school and there was like this girl, right? She was like the typical third grade girl. She like wore all pink. She wore like a little tutu. She had her hair up like in the little thing. She stole her sister's makeup. And then like, let's be real, we all thought we looked pretty with makeup on at that age, but she looked like a clapping guy. Now that I'm thinking back on it. But like, of course, then we all thought she looked gorgeous. So she'd come in and she'd like look all cute, right? I think her name was Katie. They're always named Katie, right? With a cute little outfit. And she walks in. We have a mutual friend, right? Samantha. So we're playing on the playground, and I see her like this. When I say whispering, I mean stage whispering. She's like, I don't want to play with her. I don't want to play with her. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong with playing with me? Like, do I need to buy like a Lululemon outfit too? Like, is that how this works? And she's like, no, I don't want to play with you because your skin's dirty. Your skin's dirty. I think you need to wash off the mud that got on your skin. Me being the naive child that I was, I run to the bathroom and I start scrubbing my hands as hard as I can. I'm in third grade, trying to rub mud off my hands. Okay? Later I realized that that mud is my skin, and I'm extremely proud of it. I'm proud that I can go on vacation and not have to sit out in the sun for hours trying to tan. I can be proud of that. I can be proud about almost never getting a sunburn. I got a sunburn once. I was in water. I don't know how that works when you're in water. I don't know. But I've never gotten a sunburn other than that. And I realized that in order to be happy, you need to kind of tune out the haters. Those kind of people will always be there. There are always going to be people who are going to try to knock you down. And you still need to have that barrier to know that. And unfortunately, my barrier got harder and harder as time went along. So after my whole elementary school fiasco, it just progressively got worse. And I went to middle school, and for a while everything was good, like new people, I don't know anybody there, you know what, this is gonna be cool. And then I got to 7th grade. I was close with this guy, okay? Like we were good friends, like we'd always hang out, always sit next to each other at lunch. And no, I did not like him. Putting that out there right now. We were good friends. But then there was this girl, her name was Megan. And she was like, oh, you two are dating, you two are totally, we're in 7th grade, who dates in 7th grade? We're in 7th grade, like 13, 12, 13, I don't know. So, like, we hang out all the time, but like, sometimes I'd go get food, I'd come back and she's sitting in my spot. Things like that. And it progressively got worse to a point where she'd convince other people to do horrible things to me. She convinced this one girl to put a kick me sign on my back, and someone actually kicked me. Who followed those anymore? That's like so like 80s. Like who puts a kick me sign on anyone's back anymore? Like we're in 2000s here. So I mean, it progressively got worse, and at that point I was slipping into depression. Like there were times I did not want to leave the house. I was moody. I didn't want to eat. I just wanted to stay in bed and cry and cry and cry. And it was a year. And at the same time, we had a really horrible teacher. I went to a choice school, so we had one teacher for all the subjects. She was horrible. And I'm pretty sure she was an alcoholic. I know because she'd always come in every morning with like a bandana over her head and like wince every single time somebody called her name. And she'd swear in front of kids occasionally. She was fresh out of college and she was not experienced in teaching kids. She resigned at the end of the year because our class gave her so much, I'm not gonna say the word here, but she gave her so much crap and things like that, that we straight up drove her out of the school. So that was not a good year for me. But nearing the end of 7th grade, I met a group of lovely people through a competition, DI, and that is Destination Imagination. It's a competition in which you compete in a lot of different categories. Creative categories, science, technology, math, things that are creative, like improv, fine arts, where you like make a structure, things like that. I met a great group of people, and I was very aggressive at the time. I was like always lashed out at people, and at one point somebody literally asked me, "Why are you so mad?" And I was like, I don't know why I'm mad. You guys didn't do anything to me. So eventually, I got out of that. Those friends are still friends that I keep in touch with to this day, especially one of them, one of my closest friends on earth. So slowly got out of my depression. Things are starting to move along. We're slowly getting out of 8th grade. Oh no, there's gonna be high school. Things are blowing up. Oh no, there's gonna be high school, right? And my mom's standing like freaking. I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna go to high school! Oh my god, I'm so proud of you. Like, you know how parents do. Like, they're all proud, right? You probably all did that if your child was in high school. At one point, you were really excited to go to high school. And everybody always told me, high school is going to be the worst. You're gonna get bullied. It's gonna be horrible. You're gonna hate people. People are gonna hate you. Teachers are gonna be horrible. Everything's gonna be bad. Like, that was my premonition of high school. Not to mention every single high school movie I ever watched. No matter how pretty the heroine was, or like what her life was, like, it just made me think, all these people are so stupid. Like no, like, it just made me think how unrealistic high school was. And that was a time where I got into politics, actually. I started working for Senator Dhingra. Does anyone know Senator Dhingra? Yeah. Yeah. I started working for her as an intern in her first campaign for the senatorial election. I actually knew her beforehand, and she was just like, comes down to the basement one day and she goes, "Hey guys, do you think I should run for Senate?" I'm sure she thought about it beforehand, but like, would you guys? I don't think she put her faith in like a group of teenagers. It's just like, should I run for Senate? Maybe. But yeah, and she's become one of my greatest heroes to this day. And I learned a lot of discipline from working with her. And again, my depression was slowly going away. I still have had and still have anxiety, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, eventually we're in 9th grade now, working with the campaign, and it's giving me a lot of like, it's giving me that feeling like I'm doing something. I'm doing something. And once you get to 8th, 9th grade, right? Then this whole thing comes back into play. Everybody starts coming out, right? Everybody starts coming out. One of my friends is like, "I'm gay." I'm like, "Oh, you are?" Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I didn't know what it was at the time. Like, I was never raised with that. Oh, there's a community called the LGBTQ community. I didn't know that. I slowly came to learn what it was through my peers. As I got to high school, I started knowing what that was. And I also started learning that there are a lot of people against it. And I was so confused onto why a lot of people were against it. Because gender identity, sexual identity, it's something that you identify with. It's something that you feel happy with. Gender identity and sexual identity, two different things. Sexual identity is who you are attracted to sexually, whereas gender identity is what you identify as personally between male, female, or you may not even choose a gender. You might feel super feminine some days and super masculine some days. And I felt really sorry for this community because they did not get the support that they needed. There's a very high mortality rate among the LGBTQ community because of their lack of support. And it's growing, of course, and we've got a lot of campaigns for that. But it's really sad to see how many people have attempted suicide or have committed suicide. Danielle and I have this friend. I'm not going to reveal her name. She's a transgender female. We're going to start out with, we're going to call her, when she was a guy, we're going to call her Max, okay? And so Max, when I came to Tesla STEM, I met Max. And he was a pretty okay guy, but he did get into a lot of fights. He was very aggressive towards other people, but when I met him, he was a super nice guy. Really nice, really sweet. Was like very friendly. And we got to know each other better and we started becoming friends. And then she started to come out. She came out as gay. And then the next year, she had become transgender and transitioned to female. And obviously, this was a huge change among everybody because she was the first person to actively announce that she was a transgender. Let's call her new name. Let's call her Molly. Molly, so now Molly from Max is now a new girl at our high school, and everybody must transition to that. A lot of people did right away. A lot of people were working on it, and a lot of people simply did not accept that she was transgender. I know for a fact that one boy at our school yelled out in the hallway, "Transgender people don't exist." And I'm like, do you even know what a transgender person is? Who that is? Do you know what they're feeling? No, then you have absolutely no right whatsoever to say that they don't exist. No, that's not okay. People who don't support this, that I don't understand the reason, please somebody explain to me, I don't understand the reasoning behind that. Because unfortunately, Molly felt extremely alone. She has attempted suicide 4 times. She thinks of me as an older sister. She texted me this one time saying, I was texting her the previous evening. Everything was fine. She seemed fine. Texting her. I wake up the next morning, check my phone. Timestamp is midnight. I'm going to the hospital because I downed 12 milligrams of Tylenol and I'm in the emergency room. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the third time this has happened. And how many times do I have to tell you that I love you, I support you? There are a lot of people here to support you, but she didn't get the message. That's why we as a school, we as a community have a right, that's our duty to help people who have these mental illnesses. And to have, for people in the LGBTQ community. Because it's not okay that we just stand by and don't accept them for who they are, or shun them. We must accept that. We have a duty as a community, as a family. A community is family. And unfortunately, she didn't feel that way. She complained mainly that her parents did not accept her. Now, her parents were strict Catholics, so I understood that. And she was very impatient. She was just like, why aren't they, come on, Daksha, why aren't they accepting me? Why aren't they accepting me for who I am? Come on, Daksha, please tell me, like, come on, you're the only person that understands me. I'm like, your parents are going crazy. They just found out that they're someone that they love, their beliefs have gone so awry from what, like, my beliefs are, like, as a parent. And it's so hard for a parent to just get that all of a sudden. Like, I understand that. Like, if I had a child, the first thing I'd be thinking if they came out as gay to me would be, okay, I accept you that you're happy in being gay, but what about your future? What about, oh, how are you going to find love? What about your job? Are you going to be discriminated against for being gay? I'm going to worry, and you're going to worry, all of you are probably going to worry about your child's future. And that's completely understandable. And the thing is, when you're worried about your child's future, you have to let them know that. I think one thing that, and I met Molly's mom. She's a sweetheart. And she dropped her off at school once, and my heart broke when I saw her. She looked so tired. She actually has 2 other children who have mental disabilities. One cannot speak and the other one cannot hear. And I just feel so bad for her. She looked broken, she looked tired, she had huge bags under her eyes. And I just wanted to hug her and tell her that everything is going to be okay. So these people, let's address people who don't support this. I have no right, of course, to tell you that you should. I disagree with those kinds of people saying that it is not correct or it is a sin to be transgender or a part of the LGBTQ community. That I disagree with. I can't tell you to be 100% comfortable with it. But what I can tell you is that if there are 2 men next to you holding hands or kissing or showing public affection and you are uncomfortable with it, move. Don't for a second open your mouth and tell them that you are uncomfortable. You move. Because they are in no way infringing your rights as a human being. They are in no way hurting you or bothering you in any way. Are they pushing you? Are they hurting you? No. They have their own rights as humans to do that. So you can move. Going back to my story, I learned this very fast, and as you can tell, I'm obviously an advocate for it. I'm an advocate for anything that makes you happy. Of course, it has to be reasonable. You can't just go around killing people because it's happy. But it's something that you can do that makes you happy. That's something that you are obligated to do to make yourself happy. If you're not happy in a situation, tell someone. And if you saw you remember the documentary, every single one of the people when asked what is their favorite thing about high school, they said it was the people. They said it was their friends. My mom told me this morning, she's right there. My mom told me this morning, it's important to have good friends. It's important to have good friends that will have your back. My team right here, my group right here, they had my back when, they have my back right now. I'm up here. They have my back throughout this entire project. And it's also important for you to be a good friend to other people. That is your obligation, to be a good friend to other people. Support them, support their opinions, their thoughts. Even if you may not agree, sometimes somebody just needs somebody to listen to. Like, just don't say anything. Just be a sounding board for them to listen to you. That's the most important thing. That's something that a lot of us need, just somebody to listen. Just sit there, it doesn't matter. My mom and dad are kind of like that. My mom and dad are my sister's like that, actually. She'll literally listen to me for hours, and she'll do this thing where she'll listen to me, and then after I'm done, she'll just be like, but maybe you could have done this. Sometimes it's important to listen to the person and then go into problem-solving mode. I appreciate, again, parents for going through so much with their kid, especially if they're in high school. But a lot of the times, one thing that may help is maybe just listening to them throughout what they're saying, and then at the end, maybe start solving the problem. Another thing, one last thing. Please don't be judgmental. When your kid is telling you something, they're putting 100% in their trust in you. They're putting all of their trust in you to just take care of them, to tell them that everything is gonna be okay. Because another thing that my parents have instilled in me, never judge anyone because you're probably fighting about 1,000,000 battles that you don't know about. And those battles, I don't know if you'd be able to help with them or not, but for sure, do not judge them. Because judging is what holds us back as a species, as a community, as a person. It holds us back because we aren't opening our minds to what may be going on, something that we haven't thought about yet. That's what gender identity is. We're judging because that's not something we are like. We, as a human species, don't like change, but change is the only constant. So unless we start learning, unless we start accepting the fact that things are going to change, people are going to be different than us, nothing is gonna go anywhere. We can do technology, we can do all these things as much as we want, but unless we accept the fact that things can change, things are dangerous, there are scary things in the world. Mental illness, that's one of the scariest things in the world, yes. Because it's in your brain. We can't test it using computers and machines. It's something that it's purely psychological. So unless we take that and we realize, hey, this is something that we need to accept, we have a duty to help, and things like that, nothing is gonna go anywhere. It's hard being a high school student, yeah? 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 It's hard doing what we do every single day, staying up until 2 a.m. to finish an assignment. Again, like you said, why didn't you do it earlier? I have maybe 5 other things to do. I have an AP exam Monday. The Shelton, right? I have an AP exam Monday. I have to study for that after I get home today. I gotta do a biology project tomorrow. There are things I do every single day. There are things all of us do every single day. But at the end of the day, we need to remember that we have a duty to help people and accept people. Thank you.
Before we add to a little bit of Q&A time, because we got another 15 minutes. I'm going to give you guys kind of another story of me and Philip back in